Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Guitars Podcast, episode number 42. My name is Andrew.
And my name is Kat.
And we got a few things this week to talk about.
Okay.
Not as much as usual, but, things are slowing down a little bit.
Oh, well.
A lot of acoustic guitars this week, which we don't usually cover a whole lot of those.
I know.
But we got a few.
Okay. What do we have?
Well, there's some pedals. There's some, there's actually... I don't know if that could be our topic for the day, but there's a guitar collection that went up for sale this week.
Okay.
Yeah, if you dive in with an acoustic guitar or something, I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
Might as well.
So for anybody that listens to the show or watches the video version, I recently did a trade for my Player 2 Telecaster. I ended up getting a Taylor, which I'm not really super familiar with Taylors.
Okay.
I'm more of a Martin person if I'm going for acoustics, but it played well. It sounded great, and it was actually worth more than my Player 2 Telecaster, so I accepted the trade. So what I got was a Taylor 114E, which is kind of like their lower end, but it's still, it's a Taylor, so it is an expensive guitar for, let's say, like the average electric guitarist. It's a $900. I believe, acoustic guitar when they discontinued, I think, but now they have the CE version. So Taylor just dropped an even more affordable version, the Taylor 14 CE Grand Auditorium. Now I learned after getting this Taylor that the Taylors go up by increments of 100 to indicate
like how expensive it is.
Pretty much how expensive they're going to be.
Of course.
Our lighting looks really weird this week. I'm sorry to interrupt myself here, but our lighting looks super bright for some reason.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we mess with it a little bit each week.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, so the Taylor 14 CE Grand Auditorium, right? Grand Auditorium.
Okay.
So this is a step below the one that I have.
Wait, so you say it goes on increments of 100?
Yeah, so
whatever is below 100 is just cheap?
Well, even the 100
like
is cheap.
Older.
Or like the 200 series, 300 series, 400, and so on. I don't know how high they go. But, so the 114 is made in Mexico.
Okay.
So I don't know where the 14 is made. We could find that out here in a second, but let's see what it's got. So, Grand Auditorium style body features... where are the features at? All right, so it looks like they only have it in right-handed for now. Sapele, back and sides, spruce top. I believe it is a solid spruce top as well.
Mm-hmm.
Satin finish, natural satin. The body bracing is the C-class bracing, which I'm not entirely sure what that is. Neckwood is maple. Neck finish is satin on the back. 15-inch radius. Fingerboard material is Crelicam ebony. Now, I'm not familiar with what that Crelicam, if that's, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Dots for the inlays, 20 frets, 25.5-inch scale. Okay, the nut is new bone. Saddle material is micarta. Bridge is, ABS plastic. Just basic die cast chrome tuners. Now, the electronics of the Fishman Sonotone GT2, I'm going to have to look at that in the pictures. That might be the same thing that I have in mine. Okay, here's comparisons, too.
I was looking at that.
This is $500 new. The 214 CE is $1,000 new. The 414 is $3,000. The 114, so that's the level I'm at, that's actually $799 now.
Okay.
But I believe they used to be $899 for the non-cutaway version. And then there's the mini Taylor, which is $500. So comparing them, these all look like the Grand Auditorium bodies. Definitely cheaper wood.
All of them are different, though.
Definitely a cheaper wood because as you get up to the more expensive ones, so the 114 has layered sapele, so it's like a laminate.
Okay.
And then as you get to the more expensive, like the 200 series, you have walnut. Then you get into solid Indian rosewood.
Damn.
Torrefied spruce is what you get in like the 200 and the 100. When you get up to the 400, you have solid Sicta spruce. So I was wrong. I thought this had a solid top. This must be. No, I guess it is like a fully laminate body and everything. I mean, it doesn't look like an expensive guitar.
It really does.
You can tell by like the grain of the wood and everything. It's just, it looks like a piece of laminate on the back for sure, and kind of on the front, which mine doesn't look too much different than that. Uh-oh, let's start playing a video over here. But mine doesn't look much different than that, except for mine doesn't have the cutaway. So at $500, it does come with the Taylor gig bag. Where are the photos on this thing? So actually, this doesn't have. This is what sets it apart. It looks like it's just a plug-and-play acoustic. The more expensive Taylors, even starting at the 100 series, you have like the 2-band EQ and the volume knob on the side.
Okay.
This doesn't have any of that. Yeah, it looks like you probably just plug it in and there you go.
I know it's not that cheap because there's other brands that are like cheaper than
you
500.
You could buy like a Fender or an Epiphone for like 150, 200
but
bucks. Yeah.
Just looking at it, it kind of just looks cheap.
It does.
Like, I know this is not the cheaper.
Yeah.
But it looks cheap though. Like, I mean, the wood kind of looks cheap. Yeah. I don't know.
And like I said, it is like $200 cheaper than the next step up.
Yeah.
Well, actually 300 cheaper. Sorry. Because you go from 5 to 800. And they've always done like the Taylor minis, like the baby Taylors and stuff, like the kid size, or like the travel guitars and like the campfire guitars and stuff. So those have always been like around that same price, but you get a better quality build out of like the minis and stuff for your money.
But look at the picture, that picture that you're looking at right now. We're looking at
the mini right now, yeah.
Are you looking at the wood?
Yeah.
Do you see that right there?
Looks like there's a dent in it.
There's a dent on that guitar.
It could just be the color of the...
that looks like a dent to me. Who posted that picture on the Sweetwater website? I
don't know.
My friend, you fucked up. There's a dent on that guitar.
Now, I'm trying to see inside of this thing, because I'm trying to look at like country of origin on this thing. Do you see anywhere where it says where these were made?
Not really. Wait.
Yeah.
Go down.
I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Well, you do want to figure out where is it from.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it anywhere.
No, really. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, so it's $500. I imagine, because like the 100 series, that's made in Mexico. These might be import from overseas. I don't know. But they also might just be a more affordable Mexican-made acoustic. So let's jump off acoustics for a little bit.
Okay.
Got some pedals. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Kemper next. So the Kemper Profiler Mk II came out. Or was announced, at least. And there's some hate for it on the internet.
What is this? What is a profiler?
So it's your all-in-one amp and processing modeler.
So it's a modeler.
Yes, but this is like the big boy of the modelers. You could use this as a full-on gigging amp as well. I believe this model, or at least the older version, also had a power amp in it, so you could plug it into a cabinet. I could be wrong in that. But it's still like this big lunchbox shape.
Okay.
I think they've cut down on the weight a little bit because the first one's pretty heavy.
So are you saying that the modeler like are on diapers and the profiler is already ready to go?
Yeah. Well, you can also do amp captures with it, which a lot of these newer ones these days you can do captures with it. But this is like the big boy of the whole thing. Now,
why keep you saying that? You keep saying big boy.
The big boy. It's the big brother. No, it's also one of the most expensive ones. We'll get into price here in a second. We're going to look at that. Okay. So it says, here's what they upgraded. It has a faster processing engine, which unlocks faster performance with boot times clocking in around 20 seconds. I don't know how long it took one of these to start up before, but now they've cut it down to 20 seconds from the time you turn it on. So
okay.
And some new features that push the boundaries of what a modern guitar or bass rig can do. Let's see. New era of effects. 20 blocks in series with the most powerful effects architecture ever found in a Kemper unit. Profiler Mark II series now offers 7 addition effects blocks.
Okay.
Raising the total number of effects to, like I said, 20. All running with 0 added signal latency. It's like having an entire fully integrated pedal board with pedal essentials at your feet, but one that boots in seconds, never needs rewiring, and always remembers your settings. Now, it's been a long time since the Mark I came out. I don't even know exactly, maybe 10, 15 years at this point. But it's been selling nonstop since then. So now the Mark II has more than 100,000 individual frequency points meticulously analyzed for the most precise amp recreation ever achieved. Next level. Speaker and dynamically adjustable cabinet resonance, capturing true dynamics of your setup, and the longest, most complex impulse responses in amp capturing devices. They have this liquid profiling technology, which is like their big talking point here. You seamlessly integrate the original amp's gain and tone controls, transforming a single profile into a fully dynamic living amplifier. So it's not just a capture of an amp in the settings that you capture at that point in time, like wherever the amp is set to when you do the capture. You get like the full feel of like turning the knobs and getting the amp on any setting. So I don't know, there's a bunch of new effects. Let's see, there's integrated looper, which is a serious upgrade with up to 2 full minutes of recording time. Lets you capture extended phrases, build layering. 8-channel USB audio support for the new Mark II series, so native 8-channel USB audio support to all Profiler Mark II series units. Pricing and availability. Ooh, here we go. Oh, it's funny because they're bragging about their boot times, but then their website loaded pretty slow. All right, so the Profiler head and rack. Let's start on that one. So let's see.
What is the price on that?
Huh? What did you say?
What is the price on that?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh my gosh! You have to click in another website. Oh my gosh!
Good lord. Okay. So the Profiler head is $1,348. Let's see what the website loads really slow.
Really slow.
What is going on here? And it's not our computer because our internet connection's strong right here. Wow.
Maybe that's the reason why they had to work on their timing, because
all right, so we're
the website itself. Oh,
here we go. Here we go. So the head and rack is $1,348. The rack unit itself, the head is $1,348. The rack is actually a little bit more expensive. It's $1,398, which is it's a smaller unit, a little bit more compact, but going to cost you more. Now they have the power head. This is the one that has the actual power amp built into it. $1,798. And then they have the power rack. So the Profiler rack, and then they have the power rack. $1,748. So, if you want the powered options, which I guess
that doesn't make sense to me though.
If you're getting a Kemper, you might as well go all out. I don't know. What doesn't make sense?
Look, the Profiler head is $1,348.
Yeah.
Then the Profiler rack is $1,398, right? So it's expensive.
You're paying $50 more to have a power amp built.
So
into
you will
wait, no, we're talking about the rack and the head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
So you will think that when we talk about the Profiler power head and the power rack, it will go the same, right? So the power rack will be more expensive than the power head.
So you're saying you expect the same price difference from like the head and the rack to the powered versions.
I kind of did.
So yeah, okay, so the Profiler head is $1,348, but the powered head is $1,798. The Profiler rack is $1,398, but then the power rack is $1,700. So what is the price difference? $400 and $300? No, so it's for about $400 on each one, right?
So I'm saying there's a $50 difference here.
Is there?
Yeah, so I was expecting that because the Profiler rack is more expensive, the Profiler power rack was going to be more expensive than the power head.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it turns out, you see what I'm saying?
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't make sense how they came up with the pricing on that.
The pricing on this thing doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh. Anyway, they're all expensive. But if you're into the Kemper, I don't know if you would upgrade to the Mark II if you already have the Mark I, because it's already an expensive investment. You've already got all your profiles in there. I'm sure they'll transfer over to the Mark II with no problem. But a lot of the complaints,
is it really worth it though?
I don't know, because a lot of the complaints that I've been seeing is that there's no touchscreen, whereas a lot of the newer modelers these days and profilers and stuff, they all have touchscreens, and this screen that's on here is still tiny, and it doesn't have like a full color display. It's just like a gray
updated.
It's just like a gray display. It doesn't, I can't see how that's going to be very stage friendly.
This looks like a radio to me.
Yeah, or a toaster.
Yeah.
Now, I thought they also had a Mark II of the floor unit, but let's not even bother going into all that.
No, their website is really slow.
Yeah.
Though.
All right.
Really.
So Electronic Audio Experiments has a new pedal, and as of the time of me loading up this page about 30 minutes ago, there were only 2 left in stock.
Really?
And they just debuted this pedal. So this is the Mirror House, $249.
Really
it looks
cool
like
design,
they have 2 colors, bronze, and temporarily unavailable is the acid etched. So that one's gone. That one's sold out. So they only have 2 units left of the bronze. As of the time we're recording this. So by tomorrow it'll be gone. PM. Yeah. 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday. It's going to be gone tomorrow. Mirror House creates 2 pitch-shifted copies of an incoming signal, which veer off in equal and opposite directions. This diametric approach to pitch shifting is capable of weird detuning, disorienting microtonal clusters, chords of parallel harmony, or ugly, strange dissonance. It can also be a chorus. The 2 pitch voices can be shifted statically and dynamically with selection of ranges, behaviors. Envelope-controlled pitch shifting creates dynamic vibrato, glissando, and dive bomb effects, and the voices are pulled apart and come back together. In flutter mode, and animate controls a random LFO for a tastefully off-kilter chorus and vibrato. Detune and flutter modes each have a static range of a semitone, while shift mode is quantized up to an octave in both directions. Dang. Depending on your harmonic tendencies, this particular array of features, perhaps an invitation, perhaps a provocation, I can't talk. The pedal was originally developed in collaboration with our friends in the band Pile. As part of version 2 is now available as a steady offering in our product catalog. This new version features the new flutter mode, improved envelope sensitivity, and reduced noise floor compared to version 1. So your controls on this thing are mix, which is your relative level between the dry and wet signals. Amount, which is the amount of static pitch shifting. Animate, which is additive modulation applied to the amount control. Voice, which mixes between higher and lower pitch voices. And then your mode toggle. So you have the shift up, the flutter middle, and the detune in the down position. So, $250. Like I said, it'll probably be sold out before anybody actually sees this episode. But
I like the bronze one.
I like the bronze too. The acid etched is pretty cool.
I don't know.
But yeah, the bronze is really cool. Seems like a pretty unique effect too. I mean, octave and pitch shifting is nothing new, but the fact that they split it up the way they do, where it has the 2 signals going different directions at the same time, I think that's cool. So yeah, get yours over at electronicaudioexperiments.com.
You know what I was thinking just now when made that mistake reading?
Oh no. What?
I was thinking of me trying to fix the zipper on the...
Oh, yeah. You're trying to fix a zipper earlier and you're going the wrong direction on it.
I was so confused. I asked our son to go bring my phone so I could have the flashlight on because I couldn't get the zipper. I just couldn't get the zipper. I tried so hard.
Yeah.
And then you came to the bedroom and you're like, let me try.
Yeah.
Just say,
I don't think I think you started the story in like the middle of the story. So we've got on our bed frame these retractable, I can't even talk. These retractable barrier things, I guess you would call them. They're like a mesh, but they're attached to metal poles, and they slide up and down. And it's for when our son is on our bed,
so he doesn't
fall, because he doesn't sleep alone most of the time. So whenever he needs to sleep in our bed, we will put these retractable things up. But then there's like a zipper over
You're telling like the whole story. No. I just want to get to the zipper.
Over the side of a pole, like one of the poles attaches to another through a piece of material that wraps around the pole and then it zips up. And she was trying to put the zipper on, and she's like struggling so bad. I'm like, "Do you want some help?" And she kept saying no.
Because you came to the bedroom and you're like, "It seems like you are struggling."
I didn't say it like that. I was like, "Hey, it seems like you're struggling. You want me to do it?" And you're like, "There's nothing you're gonna be able to do that I can't do. If I can't get it, it just can't be done." And then I realized that you were trying to zip it from like where it meets at the top, not at the bottom, because it's backwards. Usually you zip something up. This thing you have to mount at the top and then zip down. So yeah, you were laughing for a while after that. Well, I'll let you choose. What do you want here?
Anyway,
guitar,
we made mistakes.
pedal.
Well, let's talk about that pedal that you have right there.
Okay.
It looks really cute though. It really does. It seems like something that our son will play with.
Yeah. Well, he does love to play with pedals. His favorite pedal is, I don't know where it is, the Shroot from Fuzz Imp. It's got Dwight Schrute on it from The Office.
He loves that one.
He loves just walking around with that thing.
He walks around with that on his
I don't know why.
Anyway.
Yeah. So from funny little boxes based out of the UK, we have Caught by the Fuzz.
It looks so cute.
It looks cool. And, you know, the thing that you always complain about with like JHS pedals looking too plain, this looks like what they had the potential to do, but like instead they put like little basic graphics. This looks really cool.
I really like that one.
So this is inspired by Oxford Underdogs and everyone's second favorite band, Supergrass. Caught by the Fuzz is a vintage voiced fuzz pedal packed with tones spanning from the 60s through the modern day. Supergrass, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Third Secret, and lots more are all to be found within it. Complete with flashing sirens, this is guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Oh, the sirens flash?
Oh man, yes!
That's cool.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
So this is an op-amp-based fuzz. You have two controls only, volume and fuzz. Runs on 9-volt connector only. There is no battery compartment on this thing. Only draws about 11 milliamps.
But it's really cheap though.
This is really cool.
I wonder how much is to send, because that's going to make a difference. Because it's just 113, but then shipping what?
I kind of want this.
I know, it's a police car.
It just looks so cool. And from the picture, it's hard to tell. I think it is top-mounted jacks.
Oh man!
But from the image here, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't see anything on the sides.
You know, our son loves cars.
And especially if we just plug it in for him and turn it on.
Oh my gosh, so he can see the really lights on.
Now,
look in the shipping calculator.
No, hold on. I just want to talk real quick.
Okay.
About the funny little boxes. So, for those that may not be familiar with that name right off the bat, they had a pedal a couple years back that kind of blew up. I mean, it was everywhere for a while. The 1991. Which is a mid-gain overdrive inspired by the sounds of Pearl Jam's 10 album. That's pretty cool. Is this in stock?
Wait, there's a shipping calculator.
Where did you see a shipping calculator?
Oh, it's a checkout. Oh, yeah. Okay, go to view car.
Yeah, so it's $113 US.
Okay.
But again, we don't know anything about import fees anymore. I don't know how any of that works anymore.
Oh, but then you have to put all your information to find out how much is it.
Yeah. I'll try it real quick.
Okay, go ahead and put your information.
Okay.
Let's see how much will it be to send it to the US. I'm hoping it's not much. I kind of like it.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be the same for everyone. We're in Arizona, so.
Okay. Already started calculating there.
Did it? Based on the email address?
No, because you say cheap and then you say United States.
Oh yeah, and it's like, there's gonna be some money.
$39 to
$39 to ship.
Okay, $152. That's not bad though.
It's still not bad. That's
not really bad.
I mean, the fact that it's only 113 is really cheap.
So it will be $152 to get it here.
Yeah, and they got a firm, they got Apple Pay, they got PayPal.
Oh my
gosh. Shop Pay, all that stuff. Cool. All right, so it's not gonna be the same for everybody, but for us, it'd be $39 to import.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
What else do you have?
So we covered the Taylor.
So I noticed you're going to left the checkout window open.
Oh, no, I'll just go back page.
Oh.
I need to go back to these later on and get this. Actually, I got screenshots in some of them so far. Harley Benton has a new affordable guitar. That's also an acoustic. I never saw any videos about that bass from a week or two ago. The mini bass that they just put out.
The one that we wanted?
Yeah, I never saw.
That one looked really cool.
Yeah. So this is less than $230, $228.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Well, we didn't realize that our camera stopped recording, and we just talked about this Harley Benton guitar for a few minutes.
A few, like
before we realized.
Talking about
I looked up at the display, and I was like, "Why does it look funny?" Because when it stops, when we're not recording, and it's just showing the regular camera display, the lights are much brighter. It's out of focus. So
I cannot believe
we just talked for like 5 minutes.
Spending saliva here.
So we're just gonna redo this section.
Oh,
real
I'm
quick
not gonna talk as deep as
with
I talk about it.
less enthusiasm. But
no, I'm not gonna be as deep as I was.
Yeah, I know. So Harley Benton has a new acoustic electric.
Okay.
It's about $228 American. It does have a solid 6 spruce top. It has the Harley Benton HBO3 pickup system.
You know what I just saw? That you were so specific. You're like, and this is the specific name. Hard to remember, but this is the name.
Yeah.
You were so specific the first time.
Yeah, I know. So it's the Harley Benton brand acoustic pickup system HBO3. Okay. Has controls for bass, middle, treble, chromatic tuner on the side of the body, and a little screen to display, your tuning. Yeah, the name of this model, if I can find it again.
Yeah,
the right HBJ-45E SBK. Now, it is a copy, essentially, of the Gibson J45, as evident in the name. It's a $228 American dollars here. The material was an African relative of rosewood. Is that what we were saying?
God, I already forgot. Get back to the top.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's an African relative of rosewood.
Ovancole. I don't know how to pronounce that. So yeah. So it's a cost-effective wood, similar to rosewood. Yeah. It does have a mahogany neck. The fretboard is blackwood, which is said to offer glassy tones and plenty of sustain. And you do have white binding, cream binding, on the body for a classy look. Simple dot inlays, natural finish on the headstock, no pick guard on this thing. And the neck meets at the 14th fret, so you can get up to those higher frets a little easier. Standard 25.5 inch scale. The nut is 43 millimeters and radius is 356. I don't know metric system very well and how that converts to the American Standard system. But there you are as far as millimeters. That sucks. We talked pretty deeply about this. We went into detail.
Wow.
It's a good looking guitar. I think it's a good beginner guitar.
It looks nice.
I think it'd be a good traveling guitar or couch guitar. Some of you don't mind getting messed up a little bit. But even look at the wood grain on this thing. Looks pretty good.
I know. I kind of like it.
I do too. Let's get it.
That
sucks. That sucks. We need to pay more attention to our camera, I guess. Let's jump around a little bit more because we do have one more acoustic guitar to talk about today. Earthquaker Devices has 2 new items.
Okay.
Which is good because, they're going through some hard times right now. The stuff, they've been in the news.
That's true. They've been in the news.
Julie Robbins was just on CNN the other day, which they're getting some backlash from that. I saw just a little bit ago tonight that, they're getting some hate mail from, people that have strong political views against what they were saying about these tariffs. So, let's see what they got. The 2 new utility devices, their utility series. What do they call that? Is it just called the utility series?
I guess so.
So I have one. It's the 4-to-1 mixer. It's $159. 4-to-1 mixer is a simple and compact 4-channel mixer with independent level controls and selectable phase for each channel. Features high 1 mega ohm input impedance and a low 100 ohm output. Okay. So essentially you can sum 4 things down to 1. And the example they're giving here is if you have like a drum machine, a sampler, keyboard, guitar, and you're trying to send them all out to one output, to one amplifier, or one channel on a mixer or whatever.
That's nice though.
Yeah. And then the phase switch, you use this to select the output phase of the channel. Sometimes other pedals and various instruments will invert the phase of the signal, which causes major problems when mixing with other non-inverted signals. If you have a signal that is inverted, flip the phase switch to negative and the polarity will be corrected. In most cases, it should stay in the positive position. Level is just your output level. So really useful.
How much was it?
$159.
Nice.
And then they got one more, and it is the 1-to-4 splitter. So it does the opposite. You could send, for example, one guitar through this thing, send it to 4 different amps.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What's the price on this one? $99.
$99. That's not bad.
The description here is 1-to-4 splitter allows you to take in one input and send it through 4 buffered outputs for unlimited creative potential. It features a unity gain buffer on each output for maximum punch and clarity. These buffered outputs have a flat frequency response with a high 1 mega ohm input impedance and low 100 ohm output. Ensures your signal won't lose any quality and will sound just like you intended. Even long cable runs are no match for the 1-to-4 splitter. I can't talk. I'm having a real hard time talking. And just another cool design on there with the black and white, as with the rest of the series.
I know. I like that series, so.
Pretty cool. So not much more to say on that. I like the little mixer thing.
That series, utility series on your pedal board, the new one that you're making all black.
Yeah. Oh, that would look good.
I know.
Well, it's not entirely black because 2 of those pedals can't get them in black.
It's mostly black.
Yeah.
So if you have like a little utility kind of board that is black, that would kind of match.
That'd be cool.
I'm not saying to buy them. I'm just saying that would look nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, moving on. We'll hit this last acoustic. No. We'll do another pedal real quick. We're going to hit the last acoustic, and then we'll jump into our little topic.
Okay.
I believe we talked about this like a couple of months ago when they first announced it was going to be a thing. The Valeton GP5. Okay. I feel like we covered this already, and I think it's only like $80.
What's that?
It's like an amp and IR dealy. So in our relentless pursuit of perfect balance between tone and portability, Harley unveils the latest evolution in acclaimed GP series, the GP5 compact multi-effects pedal. No, I could be wrong. I think the one we covered last time, same size pedal, but it wasn't multi-effects. I think that one was just a cab and IR kind of thing, or an amp and cab. So let's see what it does. The GP5 tears down the boundaries of traditional multi-effects units, packing the sonic punch of a flagship processor in a palm-sized enclosure. Weighing at just 237 grams. Its rugged metal chassis is light and durable. Okay, but what does it do?
Okay.
I don't like this webpage that we're at. Okay, so beyond basics like a tuner, audio interface, and drum machine capabilities, the GP5 is also versatile third-party plug-in put.
Jesus Christ.
Third-party plug-in host. It supports up to 20 user IR files and introduces Valeton's powerful tone snap technology. Maybe this is the same one we talked about a couple months ago. I know it's exactly the same enclosure as that one. For the first time in the GP lineup, BT connection, Bluetooth connection comes standard. Wirelessly connect your smartphone or tablet to jam with backing tracks or record directly with the GP5's built-in audio interface. The brand new iOS and Android editing app puts full control of your tone at your fingertips, complete with 100 onboard drum grooves to keep your practice sessions tight and fun. You can also do USB-C to plug into your Mac and PC. But yeah, it's really an app-based product here. It's over 100 high-quality effects, supports loading for third-party cabinets and IRs, maximum of 20 stored on the unit. Snaptone technology, which supports neural amp modeling file conversion. 100 patch slots, 50 of them are user, 50 are factory. Up to 9 modules are able to work simultaneously. You got a tuner, LCD screen. Not much else I can say about the features that we didn't already cover. But now I'm curious on this GP series. Let's look into this a little bit. Products. because I feel like we already covered.
I don't remember this.
We definitely covered something that size that they make. This is so strange. I really like the Loft series, by the way. They're like mini Boss clones.
It looks like a box. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like a box.
Here we go. GP series. No, this has got to be the same one. It's just the GP5. Okay. So our last acoustic, I really like this one.
How much is it?
So Gretsch has introduced the limited edition Jim Dandy solid top acoustics. These are $250.
Okay.
Now the regular Jim Dandies, I believe, are $189, but they're fully laminate. They're really, I don't want to say low quality builds, but they're definitely not like, you know, they're like laminate materials, and they're made to look nice, but they're very cheaply made, and that's why they can sell them for an affordable price. Before they had the Jim Dandy series, this is a little over a decade ago at this point, I had one of their cowboy guitars. I don't know what the series was called. Let me look it up right now.
Okay.
So the one I had was called Sundown Serenade. It was called the Way Out West series. So each guitar in the series had a different little like Western artwork on it. So mine was the Sundown Serenade. These are selling for expensive these days. $200 all the way up to $450 on eBay right here. So I had this one. It was a little Gretsch parlor guitar. And I loved the sound of it, which is why I know I would really enjoy the Jim Dandies. But the thing is, like, I know they're very cheaply built. And the voicing on them, like the voicing on this thing wasn't great. It sounded like a cheap little acoustic. But I like parlor guitars, and I like the unique sound that they have, especially like recording. You can get some unique, really lo-fi sounds out of them. That, you know, maybe a full-size acoustic will sound too bright or too full, and sometimes you just need something a little different.
You know, all I can think of right now is who's Jim Dandy?
I don't know.
It sounds to me like a person that wears cowboy boots in a cot.
In a what?
Like a cot, but like it's a like made out of lions. A style like Hank Hill when he was the handler of Dagger and he didn't know he was.
Like a pimp?
Like a pimp.
You're saying Jim Dandy wears like a pimp coat?
Jim Dandy sounds. I didn't want to say it that way, but it sounds like a pimp name, doesn't it? What the fuck is Jim Dandy?
I just think it's a made-up name. What the?
Oh my gosh, it's someone.
But it's not. It's not anything to do with the guitar. But there was somebody.
Why did they name the guitar a pimp name?
So the lead singer of the band Black Oak, Arkansas, was named James Mangrum, better known as Jim Dandy Mangrum. He's 77 years old. Okay. This has nothing to do with the guitar.
He does look like a pimp.
He does look like a pimp.
Oh my gosh.
He looks like a 70s coke dealing pimp. He looks like he looks like Edgar Winter if he wasn't albino. Like Edgar Winter is albino, and this guy has like blonde hair, but he's not like as white.
Oh my God! Look at that picture. You're gonna have to put that picture on the fucking podcast.
This one. I'm not taking a screenshot. This dude liked to perform without a shirt on quite often.
Oh my! I was right.
He looks like Tom Petty if he was muscular, like if Tom Petty worked out.
I guess so.
Anyway, back to the guitar.
Name. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So anyway. Gretsch has released the limited edition Jim Dandy Parlor Solid Top and limited edition Concert Solid Top acoustic guitars. Both models come with a significant upgrade and very affordable at only $250 each. Very affordable. Well, $249.99 to be exact. So it's expanded their popular Jim Dandy series known for an intimate playing experience, vintage aesthetic, and budget-friendly price with 2 new models that boast upgraded specifications. So they both come with solid spruce tops with X bracing. This is a substantial improvement over the laminated basswood and sapele tops. I don't know if it's sapele or sapele, because I heard somebody in a video say sapele, and now I'm questioning everything.
Okay.
The The back and sides of both instruments are crafted from laminated sapelli. This keeps the cost down, and most of the sound will derive from the upgraded solid spruce top. Therefore, the two models should exhibit a significant tonal improvement. I really like the Parlor. Even the concert still looks like it has a smaller body on it as well.
Okay.
What else we got? Heritage Burst. Both models feature comfortable C-shaped necks topped with walnut fretboards, adorned with white perloid inlays. A fresh Heritage Burst finish gives bodies a rich retro appeal, evoking classic design of yesteryear. Rounding out the hardware, open gear die-cast tuners, which I believe is the same kind of tuners they had on the Western series. Let's see, we're on gearnews.com. Their verdict, they say at just $249.99, sorry. These limited edition acoustics offer a great blend of vintage style, improved specification, and remarkable value for the money.
Okay.
Cool. Gretsch has been putting out a lot of stuff lately. We just covered like a couple Gretsch acoustics last week and the prior week. I like them.
You like everything.
It sucks they don't have the one with the pickup in this series. They used to have one called the Gin Ricky, which was their electric version of the Jim Dandy.
Sounds like a pimp.
And it was a little bit different. Well, Gin Ricky is a drink.
Is it a drink?
It's a drink. And then they stopped making the Gin Ricky to just make the Jim Dandy, whatever the name is, of the electric model. But it's a Jim Dandy guitar now. So it sucks that they don't have that one with the solid top, because that'd be cool. But then the price would probably be like $350. So that's all of our releases for the week.
Okay.
I gotta look at the
You're
camera.
looking at the camera to make sure we're just not talking to talk.
So this just went up for auction.
Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like last week.
So this stuff is gonna go for a lot of money.
The David Lynch collection.
Yeah, so Julian's auctions, they're hosting the David Lynch collection.
Didn't I say last week that was gonna go for bid or something, and you said you didn't think so?
What are you talking about? We weren't talking about this last week.
What?
We were talking about the Jim Irsay collection.
Oh yeah!
And that's not for sale. That's not for sale. That's not for sale. That's just the dead dude's collection. No, this is
this is a different guy.
This is a different guy. David Lynch is a director, a writer,
is he
filmmaker.
Alive?
No, he died.
Oh my God.
We covered this when he died, that he died. This is what we're talking about. So a bunch of his stuff went up for sale. And we'll go over a bunch of the stuff on the auction, but specifically his music equipment that's up for sale.
Okay.
So as of today, these are some of the current bids.
Okay.
He had a Parker Fly electric guitar. There have been 16 bids. It's at $8,000 right now.
Okay.
A Bad Cat amp attenuator, 11 bids. It's up to $500 already. Now, a Danny Farrington custom 5-neck console guitar. Now, Farrington made a lot of custom guitars for everyone from like Kurt Cobain, Rosanna Cash. I don't remember the rest. My aunt had the book with all the Farrington guitars in it. So this is a 5-neck Farrington.
That is insane.
$7,000 is the current bid on this thing. Which I don't. What is he doing with this thing? There's whammy bars. There's the tremolo bridges on all 5. They all have P90 pickups. They're identical.
That Fernandez Gravity, APV, that is beautiful.
8-string bass, $3,000 current bid. A Digitech Talker. Those go for a lot of money anyway on the used market because there's not a whole lot of them around. Current bid is $900.
Okay.
Asher brand Ben Harper series lap steel. That's going for $2,000. Now, some pedals here. David Lynch. I don't know why I'm saying David Lynch. This is his personal 1980s Electro-Harmonic 16-step digital delay. Those are expensive anyway on the used market. And that's $1,500 right now. He's got a guitar that was used in Twin Peaks. That's $8,000. A Fernandez electric guitar with a sustainer, $2,000.
Dude, that Boss pedal is $900 just because it was his.
Yeah, and it's missing a knob, and the paint is peeled off up where the missing knob was. And it's a 1982 DM2. $900 is the current bid. I'm sure it's going to sell for like double of that at least.
I guess so.
His 80s DoD Flanders 670, $600. His current bid. Now, These are items that, had they not been owned by a famous person, it tells you what the estimated actual value of these things are. The DM2 used is only worth $200 to $400.
Yeah.
Especially now there's like the Wazacraft version of readily available these days. Now the Fernandez Sustainer guitar, 2000, there was one of these listed, I believe, locally near us. Same exact model, same color and everything. And they were only looking for like $600-700 for that. So 2000, it's because it's David Lynch.
Because it's his, yeah.
His Ampeg V4, $1,500 for the head and the cabinet. Distortion 2, $800. Pair of Gorilla GB30 bass amps, $450. You can go to a pawn shop all day.
It says $100
and find that you could go to a pawn shop and find Gorilla amps for like $50. He had a vintage Gracia Nino Classical for $1,000. A pair of Prescription Electronics fuzzes, $800. Now I don't know why when I typed in guitars, this came up in the guitar section. For $1,000, you can get his lunchbox with trinkets.
What is trinkets?
Just little junk.
Oh.
There's like a Hot Wheels car.
$1,000?
There's like a little Hot Wheels diecast car.
He has a comb.
There's a comb, some horseshoes, a bracelet, a button, a Christmas ornament, a light bulb.
I don't know about that.
Looks like a little Daffy Duck with no head on it. Oh, how about this for $1,000? Current bid. 3 pedals that he owned, an original harmonic percolator, which those go for quite a bit. An Ibanez Fathead bass overdrive, Electro Harmonix Holy Grail, and then a 1-spot power supply. $1,000. Cesar Diaz Texas Tremodillo. Now the Cesar Diaz pedals go for a lot of money anyway.
But it says there that the estimate is
between $200 to $400, but they're harder to find. So I don't know if this bid it'll be because it was owned by David Lynch or because they really want that pedal. So $600 is the current bid.
Okay.
There is a Earthquaker Devices Black Lodge edition of the Westwood, which is black with reverse text on the knobs and red knobs. $1,500 is the current bid. His Digitech Whammy, $600. A mixed variety of music stands, guitar stands, mic stands, $450.
Okay.
Which ordinarily you could find all that shit used in your local Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace for like probably $50 for that whole collection. Let's look at some of the weird stuff that he had.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to register.
Will I know him for something?
You probably wouldn't.
I probably
you
wouldn't.
You probably wouldn't know anything of David Lynch.
Why? Who was he?
He was a writer, a director. He did Twin Peaks. He did a bunch of movies like Inland Empire. Off the top of my head, I can't.
Now, what was the genre?
He was like a surreal horror kind of. You must have seen some of his stuff.
I don't know.
Hold on.
You already said you probably don't, and then you said that I probably have seen something. I know if I bring it
up on the computer, instead of just telling you titles, I think if I bring it up, you're gonna see things and be like, "Oh, I've seen that." He had Rabbits, Mulholland Drive. That's like a big one that a lot of people know that don't know that aren't familiar with a lot of his stuff. All right, here, Blue Velvet, The Elephant Man.
So.
He did the original film version of Dune. That was a commercial failure. What about Eraserhead? You know Eraserhead, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Jesus.
I'm looking at his movies, and I don't think I.
What about Twin Peaks? It's a lot like X-Files, but with it's got the same vibe of X-Files, but it's not about aliens.
1992 movie.
Yeah, Inland Empire.
No.
Oh man. He worked with a lot of the same people over and over again. Like Laura Dern was in a lot of his movies. Short films. Okay, no, we watched the one where he was the monkey. It was a Netflix.
What?
I think it was a straight to Netflix short where he was the dude talking to the monkey, and he was doing both voices back and forth. It was like a 10-minute long, 30-minute long video. No.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think I have seen anything.
All right, here's some. No, you wouldn't know any of this either. I don't think you would know him from his music. I don't think you would know him from.
I know this guy.
Man.
I really don't think so.
What about? No, I'm not seeing anything here that you would.
I'm looking at it though. I'm looking, and
yeah,
I don't see anything
like even
that
the
I would have seen.
Even the documentaries he's done, I don't think you would know.
Are you calling me ignorant?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not your style.
Is that you keep looking and you're like, I just don't think that you will know.
Right here, what did Jack do? That's the one that was for Netflix, where it's black and white, and it's just him talking to a monkey, or I don't know the exact animal it is, but it's some form of. Yeah, it's a capuchin monkey, and they're talking back and forth, and he's doing the voice of the monkey too. And you were like so like appalled by what you had seen. Oh my god.
Okay. So what else is on his collection?
Yeah, let's go back to his collection.
Just to get back to that.
All right.
When did he die? What happened to him?
I don't remember when he died. A couple months ago.
Okay.
All right. The David Lynch collection.
Okay.
And it's just random stuff.
Oh my gosh, are they sending? What are they selling here?
Hold on.
The espresso grinder.
See, what were you looking at?
The espresso grinder.
Espresso grinder, $3,000. A couch, $2,500.
Ah, look at that, Mr. Coffee.
Mr. Coffee.
No.
Is this where he made his daily coffee? Because the current bid is $1,250.
That's so cheap. No. Who's gonna buy that?
A pair of taxidermy deer heads, $6,000.
No. What else does he have? This is just like random.
He's got random stuff from the sets that he worked on. He's got a director's chair that's selling for $17,500. The signed poster for Inland Empire. I think this would be the movie that you would be the most uncomfortable with.
Why?
I think you would.
But why?
Let me click on this. Like, who's it signed by? I don't see. Who is it signed by?
To Linda.
To Linda. Why did he have it in his possession if he's selling it, if he's giving it to Linda?
I have so many questions about this guy.
Yeah. We're gonna watch some David Lynch stuff after all this is over.
I guess.
Some of his cameras, $6,000, $7,000 for his Sony. You can get a 4 video cameras for $7,000. These are like old school ones. A bunch of tripods and different lighting equipment. Stuff that makes sense because he was a filmmaker. Oh, that's cool. A solid state tape reader. That looks a little amp. $1,250. But let's get into like his furniture and stuff. You can buy his book collection.
Okay.
A set of 4 books for $700. A megaphone, $2,250.
Oh, he has drums.
Oh, he's got drums. He's got drums, $3,500.
Damn. Okay. Well, do you see that keyboard when we were talking about music equipment?
No, I didn't see that. Yeah, $1,000. It's just a basic Casio keyboard. Okay, here you go. A Telefunken U47 microphone, $7,000. An old floppy disk EMU system, $3,500 for that synth that probably weighs 100 pounds. Bunch of different microphones for $1,200. I didn't see all this. Oh, a David Lynch phone. This was probably like on his desk at his house. That's only $2,250.
Only? No, that's really expensive.
Bunch of his vinyl records. Is that a David Byrne signed album? No, it's Graham Nash. $800. Got a bunch of movie posters.
Hold on. What is that? A denim shirt for $2,500?
It's a Twin Peaks crew denim shirt for $2,500.
Oh no!
You got scripts, $10,000. Black Lodge style red curtains, $5,000. We gotta watch Twin Peaks. I think you would really like it. Lamp, $3,500.
Socks for Bobby
for $600.
They are just selling everything.
Yeah, a bunch of different copies of Eraserhead.
That couch looks so bad.
You can get 10 copies of Eraserhead on VHS for $2,000. Yeah, and then it just goes into his furniture.
The Bane Fred.
Here's this one. I like this one. I saw this one earlier. Homemade 2-tier work table. He just made this table himself. $1,750.
I don't know.
How about a set? How about a set of 4 vacuums?
Why
5 vacuums.
4?
$17.50. Random garden tools. $12.50.
Okay.
Bunch of different like band saws and drill presses. They're selling everything out of his estate. This dude had quite a workshop. I mean, he did a lot of DIY stuff. Bunch of David Lynch baseball caps, $1,250.
Why does he have so many?
I don't know. Pair of his shoes, $900. 9 neckties, $1,500.
Okay.
Christmas stocking, $17.50.
They are just a wait.
Yeah.
Get back to what's that piece of wood?
Piece of wood.
A violin
shaping mold. Huh.
Okay.
I guess he got into violin making at one point. His dad was a violinist, and his dad's violin is also for sale on here somewhere. Bunch of easels.
Doesn't he have
aprons.
Family that can take those things?
I think so, but
they just want to sell everything.
I mean, look at all these books. The dude had a massive book collection too. A little coronet for $2,500.
Look at that phone. That telephone.
Oh yeah, just like a basic office work phone. $1,250. Conference table, $3,000.
What is that?
Keurig machine, $600.
Oh God.
It just goes on and on. We don't have to. Yeah, there's more posters. You get a group of posters for $2,000, and this is the Japanese version of the Inland Empire. I think you would be so weirded out by this. This is an old lady in Inland Empire that she is just creepy as fuck. And like the acting isn't bad, but like how slow it cuts from like one character to it makes you feel unsettled, and it's just disturbing.
I don't think I would like it.
Like Laura Dern, her character will say something, and then it'll like stop for a second before it like pans over to the other lady, and the old lady's like, and then she starts saying her lines. Like it's very uncomfortable. But a lot of his movies are like that.
There's just
God.
Everything. And everything is here.
I can't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head right now. There's the movie that he does with Willem Dafoe, and he just has this creepy look on his face. Oh, copy of a Fender Precision bass. Not even a real Precision bass. $1,500. It's unbranded.
And it has just one string on it. String.
DJ equipment.
He was a DJ too?
We could be here. Well, he was just an overall musician. Okay. I mean, he's got so much stuff in his collection. A Roland SPD 20, like the old version, $600. And it's dusty. And a lot of the stuff, he probably wasn't still using. A lot of cool furniture. It makes me wonder, how big was his house? Was this stuff that was all in storage?
Or if it was one of those people.
It could have been a hoarder.
Yes.
Or a lot of this was probably also stuff that he had in storage because it was probably from sets of his different films and shows. It can be. A stylophone. You can get a stylophone for I think $50 or something. This is $700.
Anyway,
yeah,
you're just gonna keep going. Look at that. Just a mug. The mug collection. Yeah. $600. Why?
I don't know. Anyway, I think we'll get out of here for the night, but I do recommend you guys all check out this auction.
Wait, that was a thing that you had to talk today?
Wait, that was everything. That was our big topic. Yeah.
Oh.
I think we've gone through everything else as far as the releases that I brought up for this episode.
Okay. A lot of random stuff.
A lot of random stuff, yeah. You can get some can of pork and beans.
For $600.
It's a movie prop.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, I recommend you check out this auction. Julian'sAuctions.com. The David Lynch collection. Yeah, it looks like they're running this. If you need a pair of
socks and you have $600, just go ahead and buy those.
It looks like it ends in June 18th. Is that what it said?
I don't know. You went so far.
We actually scrolled through every single thing.
June 18th at 10 a.m. PST
in Los Angeles. Yeah. Cool. I mean, obviously, a lot of stuff's going to sell for a lot, like his director's chair. I'm sure the Earthquaker pedal, because it's the Black Lodge edition. So it's relevant to David Lynch. Those are going to sell for a lot of money. A lot of these things. His coffee maker, his personal Mr. Coffee,
But a Mr.
That's insane
Coffee.
to me. That's insane to me because you can buy that
coffee.
That's like $30 brand new. So I don't know. I think a lot of this furniture must have come off of his sets. I
don't think it's worth it to bid for the Mr. Coffee, but
no, a lot of the stuff is just crap that he had laying around.
Wait.
Anyway,
You've been working on the band music.
Oh yeah, so we talked about that a while back. Is that we were gonna start a band? We joked about it. I think that conversation started here on the podcast.
It did. It did.
Yeah, it's finally coming together. I started writing the first 2 songs for it. I only have the lyrics for one and like the main guitar riff and everything for the other. Seems like it's
gonna happen.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna do it.
I guess so.
It's just a matter of, I don't know if I'm gonna try to write out, and if you want to write anything too, obviously, but like if we're gonna write out the full songs that we want first before we even record anything, or if we'll just like, hey, here's the idea for the song, let's write it, record it, and then move on to the next one. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That's where we are.
Keep you guys updated on that. I guess that's about it. So, if you like the episode, as usual, please like and subscribe. Find us on the different podcasting platforms. If you're listening to the audio version, check us out on the video version. I skipped a couple weeks of doing like gear videos, but I did put one out this past week. So
you might
just go and check that one out. Yeah, I got more to do because I got a pedal this week that I need to
on the future
do some videos. Cool. All right, everybody. So we'll catch you next time. Have a good night.
Bye.